Today we are going to discuss the Brock coat of arms. But before we get started, we wanted to let you know that we offer genealogy research service at our website. Please visit us at coadb.com. First Brock coat of arms shown here, Argent on a bend, sable, a lure oar. Belong to the Brocks of Saltwood in County Kent. Believe it to be the arms of Sir Hugh de Broc, born around the year 1238. He was son of Laurence de Broc, who was lord of many feudal manors in Buckinghamshire, England, and grandson of Sir Robert de Broc, Marshal of the King and Forester of Cannock, and great-grandson of Sir Ranulph de Broc, who died in 1187 AD. He was Usher and Chief Marshal of the household of King Henry II and Constable of Saltwood Castle. Here we have an alternate coat of arms for Sir Hugh de Broc, given by a different source. Here we have Azure, a fleur-de-lis oar on a chief argent, a lion passant for the Brocks of Guernsey. And there's another coat of arms for the Brocks of Guernsey. There's several members of this family. I wasn't able to find who exactly the arms was granted to, but there was an Anthony Brock, born 1611, son of Jean Brock, grandson of William Brock, great-grandson of Phillip Brock, and the 2x great-grandson of Peter Brock, born in the year 1444. Later on, there was Daniel de Lisle Broc, born 1762, who we see here. He was a bailiff of Guernsey and the son of John Brock, born 1729, a midshipman in the Royal Navy. And there was also Henry Brock, born 1740, of Belmont. Here we see the Belmont House. Next, a coat of arms and crest granted in 1580 to Robert Brock of the city of Chester. And it looks like in 1602 it was exemplified to his son, William Brock, born 1566. He was of the Inner Temple, which is a legal organization, so he was some sort of attorney, and alderman of the city of Chester. Here we have a coat of arms granted in 1813 to Major General Sir Isaac Brock of Guernsey, a colonial administrator assigned to Canada who captured Detroit during the War of 1812, who we see here. He was the 8th son of John Brock, midshipman of the Royal Navy. Another coat of arms, wasn't able to find much information on this. 3 boar's heads, an annulet oar. Argent, 3 Brocks proper, another one. Checky, Argent, and Sable. Believe it was borne by Hamo de Gayton, who was son of Edelina de Broc, who died in 1221. She was the daughter of Ranulph de Broc. Coat of arms of Thomas Brock, Esquire of Cheshire. He had nephew Thomas Clutton, Esquire of Pensax Court in Worcestershire, born around the year 1795, who assumed in 1809 the surname of Brock in addition to his patronymic of Clutton. Coat of arms of Laurence de Broc, or Laurence de Broc spelled differently, found in a 13th century heraldic roll. It was also found on the grave of Angier Brock, Esquire of Batstown in County Meath, Ireland, who was alive in the year 1783. Seen coat of arms with the crest. This is for Brock of Upton in County Cheshire, allowed in 1663. A family who descended from John Brock of Upton, who had son Robert Brock. Robert had sons William Brock of the Inner Temple and Edward Brock, and William had numerous issue, including William Brock, born 1622, and John Brock of Nantwich. Gules, a lozenge or a chevron azure. Brock of Essex. John Brock, son and heir of Bartholomew Brock of Warlington, County Suffolk, and grandson of William Brock of Colchester, and the great-grandson of John Brock, born 1509, of Little Leys, or Little Lees, in County Essex. Gules, a chief dancet or a trefoil of the first. One source states this is the arms of Noel de Broc, who I wasn't able to find any other information on. Another source states it was the arms of Mel de Broc of Cheshire. Argent, a badger passant sable. A note here, it's possibly from Hampshire, England. One from probably the Netherlands, it looks like here, or the Low Countries. Wouter Brock van Tilburg, vicar of the cathedral, died in 1612. Here we have a quarterly coat of arms for Johannes Brock, secretary of the city, who died in 1559. And in the first quarter of the seal is the first quarter of the coat of arms is the seal of Jan Brock, alive in the year 1377, alderman of St. Odenrode in North Brabant. Here we have one from Bois de Leduc in France. Another from Mecklenburg, Germany. Wasn't able to find the grantee or the armiger on this one. Another for Ulrich Brock, or same Ulrich Brock, alive in the year 1425. He was mayor of Ravensburg, and later there was Ernest Hans Brock, who died in 1561. A family from Swabia, Jorg Brock, alive in the year 1410, lived in Ravensburg and left two sons, Melchior Brock, who went to Austria, and Caspar Brock, who was a court clerk at Feldkirch in Vorarlberg and went to Silesia in 1553, where he was counselor and chief chamberlain to a bishop. There was also Hans Brock around the same time, and a Gottfried Brock, who was alive in 1609. Coat of arms of Christian Brock, alive in the year 1730, a citizen of Pernau in Livonia, which I believe is modern-day Latvia or Estonia. Immigrated from Lübeck and had three grandsons who were merchants. Hans Dietrich Brock, who died in 1823, Johann Friedrich Brock, who died in 1817, and Christoph Heinrich Brock. The descendants of Hans Dietrich flourished in considerable ramifications in various parts of the Russian Empire, including one Dr. Brock, who lived or worked in St. Petersburg, Russia, seen here. Another coat of arms for the Brock or Van Brock family, a Hamburg noble patrician family who was there flourishing as early as 1545 and is found in Prussia as well. The Brock family of Brunswick, they were patricians, including the brothers Eberhard Brock and August von Brock, who died in 1838. And it looks like one member of their family, Heinrich Christian von Brock, died in 1778, was granted imperial nobility and had his coat of arms augmented. And lastly, the Vom Dame Brock family from Saxony. And if you have any other, or if you enjoyed this video, please visit us at coadb.com. Link in the description. Thank you very much.